Hello everyone, I'm Marcus and welcome back to the Red Devils podcast. Amazing performance last night by Manchester United players. I mean, there were some amazing individual performances by Man United players. But first of all, I really want to talk about these owners. I never uploaded the video regarding transfer rumors and everything. But actually, I was really disappointed with this club, the owners in particular, because let's face it, these owners, the Glazers, these are a bunch of assholes. I actually hate them. I don't know them personally, but you know what? I really hate them. And this is what disgusts me, because there are just rumors that you're selling this club and there's not an official bid, or maybe there is, but still, you can't just write off the club's season in December, because you're wondering that if we're gonna sell the club, there's no need of spending any sort of amount of money in the transfer market, and that is very disappointing and disheartening. But these are the Glazers. This is the shit we've been dealing for the past 12 years, and I really feel like killing them or killing myself. But actually, I would rather prefer killing them. But I'm way too cute for the jail, because let's face it, I don't want to gift wrap my ass to anyone, but still, let's not talk about that. That's completely different. A very happy new year to everyone out there who's supporting this channel, and even if you're not supporting this channel and just watching this video, I hope you have a great day. I really wish that I have a great year, because let's face it, life sucks, and we really want the best for each and everyone. And I just wish that every Man United fan, because I'm really not bothered about other fans of other football clubs. I just want Man United fans to have a great year, personally, and in a Man United way, of course. But I wish you all nothing but happiness. Hope you're having a great day, and let's now talk about last night's match, because we are in the top 4. I know that streak is not gonna be there for long, but still, we're in the top 4. And I'm happy. Everybody knows we lack depth in the squad department. We don't have strikers. I mean, if you've seen last night's match, we're gonna delve into the basics a little bit later. But if you have seen last night's match, anthonymartial is a fantastic player. There are moments in his footballing career that he just made you sit on the edge of your seat. But most of the time, he is just a stripper hanging upside down. There'll be like sooner or later he's gonna fall down, and in those weak moments you don't have a backup striker. You can't just put Elanga and Rashford. I mean, I have nothing but respect than Rashford, because last evening he was in the squad. He was starting in the starting 11, but there was something behind the scenes happened which made Eriktenhag sub him off. He didn't include him in the starting squad, and that for me is an unbelievable statement from a manager to his rebuilding of the club, because this was a clear statement that no matter how big of a player you are, no matter how important player you are for the club, nobody is bigger than the manager. The manager is the one who should make the decisions about recruitment. He should make the decision about selling the players. He should be the one in charge of most of the things. And last night, everybody knows that Eriktenhag loves Rashford. That's just bollocks. If anybody is coming up in an interview or in a video or podcast and saying that Eriktenhag doesn't like Rashford, that's bollocks. We know that he loves Rashford. He tried playing him as a centre forward when there was no anthonymartial, and he didn't even started Ronaldo in that particular phase. So we know he loves him. Still, there was something that behind the scenes, there was some disciplinary action, and he made him sit on the bench. I mean, he's the informed striker of our team. He's the most valuable player of our team right now, and still he was made to sit on the bench, simply making the statement that you are not big. You are not bigger than the team. And that moment, that particular statement about interdisciplinary action against Marcusrashford by Eriktenhag, that made me reminisce those moments when Sir Alex Ferguson literally threw shoe at David Beckham. I mean, you may be a star, you may be the world level football player, but still you're not bigger than Man United. I mean, as of these moments, there are many fans of Man United who are actually fans of individual players and not the fan of Man United, and that's very disappointing and disheartening to see. But still, I'm really happy that now we have a manager who is not a manager who, you know, who favors some of the players and disregards some of the players, and he's actually taking control of the footballing side of the game. And I really wanted that sort of a manager, but better late than never. And let's talk about the last night's match, because God knows we needed that win. We needed that win against Bournemouth. We needed that win against Wolves, because let's face it, we're in the top 4. Manchester United is in the top 4. I mean, I know it's not gonna last, because sooner or later we're gonna have some injuries or lack of form, and we're gonna slip down to 5th or 6th. But until then, I'm like really happy that we have this amazing manager. We have potential players who are like living up to their potential, and we are in the top 4. I mean, Spurs are like Spurs are playing tonight, or maybe day after tomorrow. I don't exactly know that, but even if they are, they'll be having a match advantage, and we are still in the top 4, and I'm really happy. You know, we're not gonna compete with Man City or even Liverpool and even Arsenal, because they are making some changes in their squad. And remember the Cody Gakpo thing. Every Man United podcast, every Man United channel, every Manchester United news was talking about Cody Gakpo coming to United, Cody Gakpo coming to United, and these were the things that just made me kill myself and made me, you know, held me back not to upload a video, because they were just rumors. Look what happened. Even in fact, there was a news regarding that Cody Gakpo's agent was in Carrington discussing about the deal and everything, and he was just not happy with what he was offered. And then later on, in couple of days, we got the news that Liverpool are in for Cody Gakpo, and then they just signed him. I mean, how idiotic and how disheartening is this, that Manchester United can't even you know, bothered enough to sign those players who are actually desperately needed by the manager. First it happened with Darwin Nunez, and then he wanted Gakpo, he wanted De Jong. I'm just really, you know, I'm pissed off at Glazers. I mean, the recruitment department, I really wish that, you know, they just die in an accident or something like that. I mean, this is very disheartening to say. This is very I'm not that hateful or vengeful person, but sometimes, you know, you just look at a person and you just want them to, you know, wipe off from the face of this earth. And that is the feeling that I get from Glazers, the Matt Turner. I mean, these are people, these are like leeches. They are eating my club, and I'm really sad to see them. But you know, let's hope that we get new owners by the end of March or April, and we get new recruiting staff, because I've been through this in my previous videos. Just the change of new owners not gonna help this club. We need new owners, we need new recruitment department, we need new CEO, we need the technical director, we need most of the hierarchy, top of the hierarchy situation should be changed. They are just pathetic, ridiculously inactive. They can't do a shit about football as far as a great footballing club is concerned. They can't do anything about it. But let's not talk about them. Let's talk about the positives. Let's talk about the players. I mean, seriously, last night there were some great performances. David De Gea, he had mostly in the match he had nothing to do, but those couple of saves that he made, one flying into his left, that was from the spot kick from Ruben Neves, and the other one, I don't remember, it was Jimenez, or I don't remember the name of the player, but those couple of saves that actually saved our game, that actually made that defense great. And when, you know, we are talking about defense, Varane, that guy, I mean, that has been the best signing of this summer. Varane was completely, you know, immovable. he was the rock in the back. The defense line, that was the difference between Varane and Maguire. When he was the what should I say, the captain of the defense line, he was dictating everything. He was telling Luke Shaw, he was communicating with Malacia, he was communicating with Casemiro, De Gea, and that was really impressive. I'm really glad that we have a World Cup winner. We had a player who has won it all, and he's now giving his rubbing off his experience to our younger players, and that was brilliant. I just looked at my defense line and it was pretty amazing to see that Man United can actually play like that. And while we are talking about Varane, let's talk about Luke Shaw. Luke Shaw was impressive. I mean, he is a left back. He in the previous couple of matches, Ten Hag have shifted him to a left centre back, and he's playing great. He made some tackles. He definitely kicked some asses of Wolves. But I was really happy to see him. The way he was playing, the way he handled Traore, because Adam Traore is one of the player of Wolves. He actually can make your defense look shit, because he may not have potential, but he is definitely a great runner. And a left back who's playing now a left centre back and make him look like a piece of crap, that was damn impressive. Malacia, on the other hand, he dealt with Traore very impressively. The way he is turning up as a Man United first choice left back is really impressive. I'm really happy that we signed him. He's a future Hall of Famer. And Wan-Bissaka was playing amazing last night. We all know that he wasn't the first choice when Eriktenhag came. He was particularly more interested in Dalot. But that injury in the World Cup, that has actually opened doors for Wan-Bissaka, and he played amazingly. There were some couple of runs which he made in the second half. Not very impressive. He actually lacked a little bit of pace also, but defensively, as usual, he was a spider. Defensively, he was as good as a right back can be, and I was really happy with that. Casemiro, from ages we have been talking as Man United fans. We have been screaming that we need a defensive midfielder. We need a defensive midfielder, but these glazers, these recruiters, these assholes couldn't even sign one defensive midfielder. Fabinho was gone from hands. Liverpool took I don't remember his name. I can't even recall his name. When Mourinho was here, we were looking at Savage. He was not a defensive midfielder, but he was, at least he could play that role. And then when Thiago was there in Bayern, we were looking at Thiago, but Liverpool came in and took him by surprise. And then later on, we were in for De Jong, and these assholes couldn't even deliver De Jong to Eriktenhag. But later on, they signed Brazilian magician. I mean, hats off. People were not that happy when he was signed, because he is a 30-year-old player, and he doesn't have stamina for Premier League, but he proved all them wrong. In fact, he proved me wrong, because I was not very happy about the signing, but yeah, I was okay with it, because he's in his 30s, and sooner or later we're gonna need a new defensive midfielder. But the way he's playing, the way he's managing that backline and protecting that backline, that is damn impressive. The way he's performing in every single game, I'm really impressed. I'm hats off to Casemiro, the way he played last night. There were a couple of runs he made. There were a couple of important passes he made to the front line, and there were some defensive tackles also, sliding tackles, if I may recall. There were some amazing sliding tackles, and for me, he is definitely a man of the match contender for last night match. And as far as Fernandes and Eriksen were concerned, Fernandes had a okay match. It wasn't his best performance, but he had couple of great moments. Eriksen had a quiet match. It wasn't that impressive by Eriksen, but you're not gonna have every single player do 8s and 9s out of the pitch, but it's okay. And Marcus Rashford, let's talk about Rashford for a second, because Rashford was was actually told that he, because of some disciplinary action, he's going to be starting off the bench, and that must have pissed him off or annoyed him to an extent. But still, when he was subbed in after the half time, and Garnacho was subbed off, and he didn't just moaned or made some idiotic statement, but he actually went out, played an amazing brand of football, made a couple of great runs, and scored a beautiful goal. I mean, that is the level of professionalism, and that is the level of beautiful football a Man United player should go for. Because the way he handled himself, the way he managed last night, his performance was amazing. It was actually breathtaking. I mean, I was actually disappointed with that second goal. It was disallowed, because for me that is a stupid rule. Because if you're a defender and your hand is inside your body when you're making a tackle, or you're making a defensive movement, and if your hand is inside the body and the ball touches you, it's an accident. It's not a penalty. So why the fuck you're giving that, you're disallowing that goal when it was accidental? It wasn't intentional, because it came back from the goalkeeper, and he didn't made any movements, hand movements towards that ball. It just struck him on the arm, and it was inside his body. So there was no point in denying that goal. That goal would have been ours, but it's okay. I think that rule should be just kicked off from the Premier League books of rules and laws. But finally, we got a win. That was a narrowed win, I must say, but still we got a win. I was really happy with it. And this is why we need a couple of strikers in the January window, because if Rashford wasn't in the team, I don't see us winning that game. In fact, I see I could have foreseen that Wolves would have made a comeback, because that goal by Rashford, that actually made them sit and play the game a little bit slower, which was not their forte, because they were on the counter attack again and again, and somehow that goal by Rashford, that slowed them down. But what if Rashford wasn't there? What if Rashford was having a bad day? What if in the future, in February or March, Rashford picks up an injury or is out of form? We won't be having any other player. We will be serving Elanga on a silver platter to them, because Elanga is definitely Elanga is a potential player, but he's not a player who can win you games. I mean, Garnacho, look at Garnacho. He's a brilliant player. He has an amazing potential in him, but he missed a sitter in the starting moments of the game. He actually missed a sitter. So this is what I'm talking about. We need a couple of strikers who are actually experienced enough. But unfortunately, our owners are those bloody assholes who can just take the money out of the club and wipe their asses off. That's all they want to do. And it's really disappointing for a Man United fan to see that, because let's face it, the new owners rumor, the new owners shit, it's not gonna stop until there's a proper statement from the club, and it's not gonna go away. But until then, until we get a new owners, we are stuck by these assholes, these morons, and you can't do a shit with them, because they are not gonna spend any money. And the most common rumor these days around Man United is that of João Felix, and even if he's coming on loan, we'll still be one short of a striker, because let's face it, even if João Felix comes, Anthony last night had a very quiet game. Anthonymartial had a very quiet game, and if you have two strikers on the bench, you can actually chuck them in. But because you don't, you had to stick with the midfield. You had to send Fred into the starting 11 and into the match, and that was pretty much disappointing to see. And this is where I'm saying this again and again in every single video, that we need couple of strikers. We are actually short two strikers, because remember, we let Cavani go, then we let Cristiano Ronaldo go, and now we don't have any strikers in the squad. We lack depth in that department, and I'm telling you, sooner or later Rashford is gonna pick up an injury, because he's not that sort of a person who's gonna play in and out every single game. And even if he does, what happens if he gets a lack of form? What happens if he gets quiet game was in 1 or 2 week, and that's gonna dampen the whole situation, because let's face it, Man United will surely be out of the top 4 fight, because that's what I'm predicting, that we won't be in the top 4 in the end of the season, because frankly these owners have actually written us off by making this bold indirect statement that we won't be signing anyone. If by somehow any magic we actually do sign João Felix and a couple of another striker, maybe we can fight for top 4, but until then I don't think so they're gonna do anything. But anyways, I'm gonna wrap this up, and I really hope that everyone who watches this video, please just press a like, share the video with other Man United fans, subscribe to the channel. I'm not gonna say that again and again because I know you're gonna get pissed, but seriously, do support the channel. I really need that. Till then, please take care of yourselves, stay healthy. Happy New Year once again. I really wish that everyone who's watching this video gets a great year, have a great party, enjoy. See you later. Bye bye.